Warning: this video contains spoilers that reveal critical parts of the game's storyline. If you don't want to see these, stop watching now. Hello again, my friends. Eric Pearson here. Hope you're all doing well, and welcome back to my ongoing coverage of GameDev TYCOON from Greenheart Games. Now, before we go any further, I'd like to apologize that future demonstrations of this game will not have the music. And the reason for this is that, curiously, on the last video that I uploaded, I got a copyright claim. I'm not sure why that is, because the first several videos I did of this game did not have that problem, so we'll just be running on sound effects only. Alright, so let's get started and pick up where we left off here. Now, before we go any further, there are a few things I'd like to discuss. I'd like to talk about some of the things we discovered in our last video and parallels with the actual gaming industry. Now, you notice we moved into a larger office. We hired an additional developer to help us with our next game. But you'll notice that I had to allocate workload since we were working on a medium-sized game instead of a small one. And you'll notice that in order to maintain the same quality level, we had to work past 100%, 130%, 140%. And I'm sorry to say that this kind of thing does happen in the gaming industry, where during the development of a game, especially during the later phases, things get into what they call crunch time. And crunch time can be, to put it mildly, very, very difficult, challenging, unhealthy, toxic to the ones who have to work it. And one example I'd like to point to, some news articles that I read indicated that there was a period of years in the past when a developer known as Electronic Arts had been criticized for employees being forced to work extraordinarily long hours, and sometimes up to 100 hours per week. And initially, they were not getting paid overtime for it. They were basically salaried employees and just expected to produce at that level. At one point, there was a fiancé of an EA employee who posted a blog about it, describing that mandatory hours were running 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week, with the occasional Saturday evening off for good behavior at, gasp and choke, 6:30 p.m. And word of this blog got out, it went viral, and EA was forced to confront the situation and start making changes in order to do right by the employees and also to salvage their reputation, which was rapidly getting damaged by this. So as I proceed in this game, I'm going to try not to let that happen. So the first thing I'm going to do before I do any more research or gaming is we need to hire another person. I know that the game's hints talk about hiring too many people too quick, but I think we need to hire someone. So let's budget about $70,000 like before. Let's pre-filter by game demo and start looking. I know this is going to slow things down a bit, but let's see what this does. I'm honestly curious. Alright, so we have some candidates. We have Jade Haymond, and we have Tristan Nunez. Jade looks like the more balanced. Costs a little more money, but so it is. Alright, so we have Jade. Welcome aboard, Jane. Let's do welcome training. Now, while that's happening, maybe I need to do some research. So I'm going to research a new topic. What looks good? We've got hunting. We've got, aliens. Yeah, aliens. Let's do Aliens. On a semi-related note, one of my favorite games when I was a teenager was Aliens on the Apple II. Loved that game. And we've got an offer for contract work. Okay, well that's good if we need cash flow. That's good to know. Alright, let's see how Jade is doing. Alright, let's give Jade some game development gems. Alright. And you know what? Let's, of course, one of the challenges we've got here is that Dino here is looking a little run down. That meter shows how productive they are. So let's send Dino on vacation. And while Dino's working on that, now let's think about what other research we can do. We've already done a new topic. We can try for better dialogue, because let's face it, dialogue is a good thing to have. So let's do that. Alright. Now maybe one of the other challenges we ran into was we tried a medium-sized game. Do we want to do another one of those again, or do we want to try and do a small? Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, looks like Dino's back. Alright, let's get going on a new game. Alright, so let's try a medium game. Let's make it E for everyone. Topic is going to be aliens. Now, what kind of game are we going to make this? We're going to make it action, adventure, simulation, RPG. Well, you know what? Let's go with action. And we're going to go on the PC platform. Now, I know I keep doing PC over and over again, but I want to show you something. You look at the licensing costs for these different platforms. $50,000 for the Gameling, and also the same for the Vena Gear, which is a stand-in for Sega's Game Gear. The Vena Oasis, $100,000 to get a license to develop software for that. And this is an interesting aside. In the real world, there was a court battle between Sega and a third-party developer known as Accolade. Now, Accolade was a game maker. They'd made a lot of great titles throughout the 80s. I happened to have Test Drive for the Apple II from Accolade when I was a teenager. Fun game. But one of the challenges that Accolade ran into is they wanted to make games for the Sega Genesis. And they were given licensing terms almost as draconian as, if not more so, than what Nintendo was offering. And so Accolade decided that they were going to find a way around the problem. And what they did is they took several third-party Sega Genesis games and tried to decompile the code and reverse engineer it to find a way to work around Sega's hardware lockout. And in fairness, Nintendo was doing the same thing. They had a lockout chip in their console too. And I'll spare you the play-by-play, but it did eventually lead to a court battle, and they went back and forth for a while. Ultimately, they settled, and Sega offered Accolade a more amicable set of terms for developing third-party software. So it worked out in the end, but it took a lot of fighting. Alright, so that all said, let's go back to the PC. Alright, and we're going to use Curtis again because we're not quite ready to do a new engine. Now, what are we going to call our aliens-based game? Well, let's see. It's an action game, so we want to give it something aggressive. You know, we could call it Well, let's call it Alien Hunters. Actually, Alien Busters, if you want to take a riff from Sega's Alien Storm game. Alright, let's get going. 2D graphics. Alright, let's see how well we do with 3 of us working together. Alright, the engine is very important, the gameplay is important, story not so much. Alright, I have to allocate workload. Alright, so I'll work on the engine. Dino, you're going to work on gameplay. Jade, let's have you also working on gameplay. Actually, I can only allocate one person at a time. Alright, Jade, you're going to work on that. Dino, let's have you working on the story aspect. Let's see where we go there. And we're generating a lot of research points doing this too. The more the merrier, as they say. Okay. Dialogue's not so important. Let's see. Level design and artificial intelligence. Let's put Jade on level design because Dino was getting a little overloaded. Let's put emphasis on artificial intelligence here. I'll take dialogues. That's good. So I'll handle the dialogues. Okay, let's do this. Actually, you know what? Let's balance it out a little more. I'll take level design. Jade, you take dialogues. Dino, you're doing alright with artificial intelligence. That's good. Now let's see, if we can get our design and technology numbers up to 20, that would be nice. Alright, so I'm already running at 139%, but you know, that's my call. I'm trying to protect my coworkers. That's fair. Alright, world design, not as important. Graphics and sound. We need to really crank the graphics and sound. Let's assign the graphics to Jade. Okay, that balances things a little more. Okay, that's good. Alright, let's do this. A lot of research points. That'll come in handy later on. Oh, wow, we're getting some really good numbers. All we have to do is resolve the bugs. Dear Tangent Systems, we're being invited to a game convention. G3. Okay. Well, alright, can we fix those last bugs? Good. Wow. Awesome. I just hope the public agrees. Alright, let's put this out and see what we get. Seven, okay, not bad. 8, okay. 8, okay. And 8. Well, good. Aliens in action is a great combination. Yep, you're right about that. Okay, that's good, because we're going to need the money. Alright, let me generate a game report. Oh, look at that money roll in. We're coming up on $2 million. That's awesome. Alright, let's look at the game report. Aliens in action is a great combination. Dialogue seems not at all important for this type of game. Gameplay seems to be quite important for this type of game. Okay, well, that's fine. Additional insights. Jade Heyman is still new to the team. A few more games and the team will have higher potential. Okay, well, maybe we should invest on some additional training for Jade. How about... Make me think. Let's do that. Okay, so doing okay now. As far as potential research, is there anything else that we can develop? We've developed a lot in terms of... We've done some development of 3D graphics. The 2D graphics at level 3 is a lot of research points. The question is, do I want to spend it? Well, we'll always make more. But then again, it's $240,000. That's a lot of world. That's a lot, too. We could try open world. Research that a little bit, because we know that in the real world, open world was a big thing. Oh, here comes the game convention. Small booth for $80,000. Okay, that's worth doing. Alright, so now we need to come up with another game idea. Alright. Let's look at our game history. The last game was a medium game. Alien Busters was good. What was the last game that we really did well? I think it was European games. Alright. So that was year 6. So it's been 2 years. We could do another games, and we might be able to push things a little further. So why don't we try doing another sports game? Well, let's see what the game convention does for us. You know, 43,000 people showed up at our booth. That's good. Once we didn't make it in the top 100 booths this year. Once we gained more fans, okay, well, we gave it a go. Alright, so let's try one more time and make a sports game. Hang on. Today, Vonnie has announced their very own console called the Play System. Apparently, the company has completely reworked their earlier Play System prototype after Ninvento canceled the project. And yeah, this happened in the real world. After Sony and Nintendo parted ways, Sony did their own thing and developed the PlayStation. And it was, at its time, a major step forward in terms of graphics capability, and of course the controller was like nothing else out there. So that was another major shift. Alright. CD-ROM drive and 32-bit processors, and is wholly owned by Vonnie. Industry professionals say this might be the beginning of a new generation of consoles. Ninvento declined to comment. The Play System will enter the market in 2 months. Okay, that's 2 months. We might be able to start developing games for it, but we should probably produce something now. Let's do another sports game here. Or should we save that to be our opening volley on the new system and do something else in the meantime? Oh, new research available. Sequels. Well, maybe we should research that. Sequels for 20 RP. Alright, while I'm working on sequels, we really need to come up with a new game. Well, we haven't done a space game in a while. Why don't we do that? So, develop new game. Okay. So, we did Tungsten, we did Argon. Well, on the suggestion of a friend of mine in the UK, let's call it Thringston. There we go. And let's make this a medium-sized game, E for everyone. Space. We're going to do action. We're going to do the PC because the development costs are low and we know action sells. Okay, and the game engine will be, once again, Curtis. Alright, let's do this. And the play system just came out. Well, we might be able to do a sports game on that. Okay, let's see if we do a little better with division of labor here. Story and quests, not as important. So I'm handling the engine, Jade's handling the gameplay. And let's swap it around. Let's put Dino on gameplay. Let's put Jade on story and quests. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's do it. We've already got a little bit of hype going. Bugs. Oh no. I thought we cleared up the bugs. Okay, so we better make this right. Okay, so let's allocate a patch. Okay, now dialogue's not so important, but level design is important, artificial intelligence is important. Okay, this is a good balance here. Alright, let's keep going. Funny, I thought I fixed all the bugs. Okay, patch is complete. Alright, so who are we putting on this? Okay, Dino's really burning hard. Alright, so the sound is sort of important, but not all important. Let's take... Dino's really burning hard. Let's assign Jade to sound. And then we can tune down the importance of the sound, but not that much. What to do? Okay, I'm taking one for the team here. I'm gonna handle the graphics. That balances things out for Dino and Jade. Okay, taking one for the team. Here we go. It looks like Jade's starting to fade. Once we're done developing this game, we're gonna send Jade on vacation here. That's right, keep going. Let's see. News. Tangent Systems has recently released a much-needed patch for Alien Busters. One fan said, I love companies like Tangent Systems. They don't just milk their customers for more money, but also understand our concerns and make sure that we can enjoy our games. Yeah. And after the debacle of Aliens Colonial Marines, I'd like to say to certain developers, take notes, learn from that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Aliens Colonial Marines, the game was basically broken by one typo in one line of code in one file of the game. And years later, someone found the problem and published instructions on how to fix it. All you had to do was go into Notepad, find one misspelled word, and correct it. And I did it. I followed the instructions, and what do you know? The game was fun to play. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, we've cleared the bugs. Most of the bugs. Come on, no more bugs. Alright, can we... Okay, I think that's about as good as it gets. Okay, no bugs. Okay, we leveled up on a few things. We may be able to consider generating a new engine next time. Alright, no bugs, decent numbers. Let's put this out there. And looks like Dino wants more money. Alright, let's see how we did. 6, okay, well, not horrible, but 5, 5, okay. 6. Alright, well, not bad. Alright, so let's generate a game report, and then we'll consider this a good place to stop. Okay, let's look at the game report. Dialogue's not important. We should try to focus our entire team on the development of the game. Well, yeah. And on that note, okay. I said, okay. You go on vacation. You know what? You too. You're going on vacation too. Alright. I'd say this is a good place to stop. So, thank you very much for watching, and join me next time. Eric Pearson, signing off.